All right, welcome everybody out there to this version of the Dream and Do interview, the Träumen and Machen interview. Today I have the honor to have Jacktone Otieno with me. Hi, Jacktone.
Hey, Daniel, so good to see you, my friend. How are you doing?
Amazing on my side, amazing on my side. You know, Jacktone is a friend and working in a startup I have the pleasure to work with in the course of an NGO mentoring program supporting startups in the heavy COVID-19 times. And while we work together since March, I got to know a lot of inspiring stories and thoughts and topics from Jacktone. So I had the need to invite him to my Träumen Machen interview session today. Thanks for your time and thanks for having me here. Really cool, really cool.
Oh man, thanks. I am so happy, so privileged. I'm so glad that you invited me. I take it as a great privilege for you to have me on the show. I look forward, man. I wish I could speak. I wish I could speak German.
The world. Actually, I love German speaking and the poetry in the language. But if you want to reach the world, you need to speak English. So, anyways.
I agree. I agree.
If people come back to me and want to have translation, normally you can have subtitles in YouTube. You just need to put it. Talk to me, my friends out there. I help you to put the subtitles translated.
That's right, man.
It's all fine.
Yeah.
But what is your mother tongue in Kenya? You're living in Nairobi, right? What is your mother tongue?
So I live in Nairobi, Kenya. My mother tongue is Luo. That's my mother tongue. Luo. That's the tribe. Luo. Yeah. So Kenya has 42, 44 tribes. Yes, so many, and I am Luo, which is in most Luos are found in the western part of Kenya. Mm-hmm. But the official languages of my country is English and Kiswahili. That's why I can communicate well in English, because we are taught English right from kindergarten,
from the beginning,
all the way. But we also taught Kiswahili. So typically, if you met any Kenyan, they would speak English and Kiswahili, and then they would have their mother tongue, So mine is Luo, but we have Kikuyu, we have Kamba, we have Meru, Luya. There are so many, on and on and on.
What would you say, in how many languages could you properly communicate? Like getting around, understand each other, having a good conversation, let's say. How many languages would you be able?
For me, three. I would say three.
This three, okay.
There's three. I mean, unless if I came to German, I would just say Guten Morgen, or Danke schön. Yeah.
Two positive things. That's cool. Very nice.
So,
okay.
But
Jacktone, we want to know more about you, right?
Yeah,
so,
sure.
It's about what you do and what you dream of. And can you take us a little bit onto a journey into your life and what you are doing right now and what moves you? Can you take me into your world of dreams?
Yeah, sure, man. I'll think maybe briefly, because it's a very long story. I'll try and make it very brief. So I was born actually in a village in western part of Kenya. It's a city called Kisumu, but the outskirts of Kisumu is a village called Kano. Yeah. And I was actually not born in a hospital. I was born in my grandmother's kitchen. I don't think you knew this story. So I was born in my grandmother's kitchen, and my parents moved to a different town. It's a very small town called Kitale, also in the western part of Kenya. So that's where I went to school. I was privileged. My parents, my dad ran a business. He's a businessman till today. He ran a hardware then, and he was also into transport business. In Kenya, we have a public transport business called Matatu. So that's the business he was running then. And I was privileged to go to very good schools in my primary school. Kindergarten, primary, I went to a school called Kitale Academy. And then high school, went to St. Joseph's Boys High School, really amazing school. And then went to university, in western part of Kenya, a place called Maseno. It's called Maseno University. And I studied communication and media technology. specialized in electronic media, that's radio and TV production. But that wasn't always my dream, to study media. Daniel, I from a young age in primary school and high school, I was really good in mathematics. I was performing very well. I would get straight A's. And so I thought, what, since I'm good in maths, I think I should be a mathematics professor. So my dream was to be a mathematician or a professor in maths. But when it came to the time to join university, I applied for university, and I applied for a couple of courses. I applied for actuarial science, applied for applied statistics, and my third option was communication and media technology. And guess what I was called for? I wasn't called for the first, the second, I was called for the third option, number 3. So communication and media technology. And I said, okay, let me just try. I went to school, and I wanted to actually change courses, but I couldn't change. So I decided, okay, let me just do this thing. But when I started to look back, at my local church where I attended, in Kitale, I was given a chance to do media stuff, to do coverage and all that. And I realized, maybe this is what I was meant to do, And so I put in all the energy in studying that. And while at school, I was heavily involved in the radio department at my school. So I was like the head of programming, radio programming. So I had a show. I had a 6 to 7 a.m. show every morning as a student. Yeah, so I was hosting a breakfast show. And then I was involved in the leadership of the Christian Union at my campus. And I was student. So I had a very busy life in campus. And fast forward, finished, graduated in 2010. And I had a friend of mine who had lived in Norway for a very long time. He lived in Oslo, actually, specifically. And so he came back to the country because the wife was with me in university and we were very good friends. He told me, hey, Jack, you just finished school, looking for a job. I want to start a business in Kenya. And would you mind helping me out to start this business while you're looking for work? And I said, sure, why not, man? I just finished school. I'm looking for opportunities. I can help you out. And guess what the business was? The business was selling photocopy machines. I had never operated on a photocopier. So that was the first business I got into. Of course, my first experience in business was when I was young. I would help out every holiday. I would help out my dad in his hardware shop, which was good because I was learning the value of hard work and diligence and understanding, what it means to make profit. And one lesson my dad told me then as a kid was never sell anything at a loss. Even if you are to sell it at 1 Kenya shilling, 1 Kenya shilling is like $0.01, even if you are to sell at that loss, don't sell it. You'd rather not sell than run at a loss. So it was a good lesson. Let me continue. So we started the photocopy machines business. And in less than 6 months, Daniel, I had made sales of, I think, about $15,000, which is like 1.5 million. And I was Kenya shillings, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, what? I can do this thing, And so we opened up a shop right in the CBD in the heart of Nairobi. And we started selling machines. We did that for a couple of years, but then the business is so capital intensive because we're importing copiers, used machines from Europe, from Germany, from Belgium, from Netherlands, and we're importing them, refurbishing and selling and leasing, So unfortunately, we lost a lot of money. We had people who we had given machines who, didn't pay us, and that business didn't do well. So we had to kind of, so the business went down. We kind of closed shop, quote unquote, because we didn't fully close. We just said, hey, I think it's time not to do this business. So 2012, while this business was still running, I did some training. I had done some entrepreneurship training, very basic, with an organization called Economic Projects Transformational Facility. which ignited my passion for business, you know. And so, and Isaiah, my friend, is the one who paid this training for me. And so I participated in doing like a business plan, and I did a business plan for a media production company, which was my dream, you know, all along from campus.
Let me ask something.
And so yeah, sure.
Let me ask something, because now you come to the dream. So what I just recognized listening to you was you did something you really didn't like, and all of a sudden you talk about it like your dream connected with media. When did you start to love it?
So now, I mean, while I was in campus, when I was now studying media and we're doing radio programming, we're doing documentaries, we're doing features, we're doing advertising campaigning, I started falling in love with media while in campus now. I fell in love with it completely. By the time I was finishing, I knew I was either going to be a news anchor, yeah, a renowned reporter, or at some point start my media production company. But my dream was to start a media production company. My dad knew I was going to be a good news anchor. So that dream never came to be. But now when the opportunity presented itself for me to sell photocopy machines, what I did, I mean, it was just the opportunity that presented itself. You know, I hadn't gotten a chance to get into the media. So I jumped into it. But honestly speaking, that's not really what I wanted to do. I just did it because it was the opportunity that presented itself. So now, when this 2012 getting into the events business came, and the driving force was because of my passion for media. Because my business partner, this is what he told me. He brought cameras. He imported 3 cameras for me in 2012 December. He told me, hey, Jacktone, here's cameras. I'd like us to set up a company. But I know you're passionate about media production company. Why don't we start an events management company? And then we can do the media stuff in there, because media events is broad. You can do media in there, but you can do events branding, events creative, you know all this stuff about events, concerts, conferences, exhibitions. So that's how we started the events management company in 2012. And the company is called Lois Events Managers. And that company has been running until today. But in 2017, I said, you know what? I think it's fine to do the events, but it's time for me to just get into what I am really, really passionate about. And that's when we opened the production company called Bamba Studios, which does radio and TV production, does documentaries, events coverage. Basically, we're passionate about developing content, rich, especially right now, rich content from Africa. That's what I want to do, from Africa to the world. So
it's a very critical, very interesting point, because this is about inspiring people, motivating people. So on your journey from identifying media could be it into media is it, I want to know, why do you think you fell in love? What was it? What let you fell in love? And why did you, after this events company, and what made you driving into this Bamba Studio independent media production company, which you're running today, right? Yeah. So it's what is the engine behind? What is the force? What made you confident that this is the right steps?
Good question, man. So first of all, growing all along, people told me, hey, Jacktone, you have an amazing voice, and your voice is useful, could be useful for radio, for television. So I knew, number one, I have a gift for it, which should be made use of. And gladly, I'm able to have done voiceovers for documentaries. I'm hosting a radio show right now, for some international company. And now I'm running my own production company, so making use of the gift that I have. The other thing is that also the training I got while in campus, the training was helpful, because it was, I'm not just doing media production as something that I'm passionate about, but something that I love to do, but something that I'm also an expert in, because I've got the training. So for me, combining my love for the media and combining the expertise and training that I have received in media is a game changer for me, because now I'm getting to do what I love, but I'm not just doing it, it's not just mediocre. You've seen what we do, I'm bringing in my A game, bringing in all the skills. And, the media is a very interesting field. It changes like crazy, what we had a couple of years ago and what we have right now, and even what we're going to have years from now. It just, the technology changes so quick and so fast. Like, for instance, the camera we bought in 2012 is tape technology. Rarely do we use it even now. We still have them. We don't even use them, right? Because now, we have to use the SD cards, and we are using cameras, that shoot up to 4K. So, and even what we're using right now, 10 years from now, will be like, oh, this is nothing. So it's a very interesting field that needs your mind in the game to be able to understand what's happening in the market and be able to.
What you're pretty much enforcing now is circumstances around us shape us and shape the way we go as well.
That's right.
Let's just say it's all in your hands, because I strongly believe the person in the middle, person, society, family, whatever the group of people is, can shape the way as well. So let's say you said 10 years from now you have an independent media production company in Kenya shooting stuff, documentary, but pretty much you could do commercials, you can do everything, radio, TV, online shows, events, right?
Yeah.
All you guys out there, if you need anything in Kenya, that's the man. But other than you did just a pilot about ungendering, or about getting rid of the bias in Africa. Maybe you can say some words. But first, my question: 10 years from now, what is your dream? How should it look then? You, your environment, your team, your company, the world. Where should we go?
I will tell you, man, honestly, 10 years from now, Bamba Studios will be the go-to production company in Africa. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you my dream. 2018, I'm going to connect it with this story, because 2018, I got a chance to go to the US and work and train with a media production company, very big media production company. And they do amazing TV shows for HGTV, for History Channel, for Discovery, for Nat Geo, Animal Planet, all these amazing big channels, And for me, that was a dream come true, because you're working with all these media experts in America, And while I was there, my eyes were really open. It's like, there's really no one who is telling the story of Africa the way Africans would want to tell it, Because what's happening, I know you watch stuff in Europe, and if it's content comes, most of the content is from Hollywood. Let's put it that way, But we have very few content from Africa. So I want to play a part in developing amazing TV shows, amazing reality TV shows, documentary features that would air on Nat Geo, would air on Animal Planet, would air, in France, in Germany, in the US, in Australia, from Africa. So I'm seeing myself, Bamba Studios is going to be developing content from not just Kenya, but from Congo, from Rwanda, from Malawi, from Botswana, South Africa. That's where I see. And one of the things, like even the space that we're in right now, this global pandemic has pushed a lot of individuals and organizations into the digital space, And so one thing I want to see in 10 years is we want to set up a shared production facility that content creators here in Kenya, very young people who are creative, who are passionate, but they just have the idea, but they don't have access for equipment. They don't have the resources, because equipment is expensive. They can't buy it, or they don't even have access. We want to provide the facility for them. We want them to come to Bamba Studio Center. They just come with their idea, but they can live out with their radio show. They can live out with their TV show. They can live out with their documentary. So that's what we want to do in a couple of years. That's my dream, man. And I think I've mentioned this before. my goal, honestly, like at this moment, we would want to do like 5 local TV shows here in my country, here in Kenya, but we want to do at least 2 international TV shows, you know. So I think when I watch our production on Nat Geo or Animal Planet, Discovery, HGTV, I don't know what's the biggest channel in Germany. What's the biggest?
Could not say to you, but it might be the public television broadcasters like ARD, ZDF. Yeah. But I'm not sure how about the real distribution right now. Yeah. Depending on the shows.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But for me, it would be a real joy. It would be a real joy when you WhatsApp me and say, "Hey, Jacktone, man, I'm watching your stuff, you know, on our public channel."
Jacktone, I got to know you in the last weeks as an extremely social, responsible person. What you're telling right now, it's only about Bamba Studios should grow because you want to send, you want to influence, you want to be part of the game. But that's only a part of you as a human being. I wonder, very beginning, somebody could listen to you say, oh, this guy was very privileged to go that way. Have you been privileged? This guy maybe has everything around him which helps him to go for it. Why do you think you are where you are? And why do you think you can make it into 10 years, to achieve your dreams? How did you get there? And why do you think you can make it?
Wow, that's quite an interesting question, Daniel. Honestly, I would say not privileged. Honestly, I would say that. I think what I would say is, of course, I believe in God, so God's favor, one.
Okay.
The other thing that I would say is opportunity meets preparation.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, nice.
Mm. You know, there's something right now. There's a deal I've been chasing for the last 3 years. I was telling this someone just recently. It hasn't borne fruit. You know, there's a deal I've been for the last 3 years. I'm still chasing it with some production company in the US. It hasn't borne fruit. I'm still waiting. You know, but I'm confident it will bear fruit. But what do I do? What do I do as I wait? I work. I keep working. Yeah. When I was a young boy at my church, I would take the camera and record, you know, and shoot while the preacher was preaching. When I was in campus, we were so many media students, but in my class, I think we were only 5 of us who had radio shows. Yeah. But the rest had the same opportunity, you know. So there's a self-drive, I would say, you know. And if you're passionate or if you love something to do, you go for it. You have a dream, you pursue it. No one will pursue it for you. So for me, that passion and dream that I have, I know I do it. And I, even when things are not working out for me, you know, like now, right now, even, you know, it's a COVID season. We've not had business, you don't know, for the last, I don't know, the last couple of months have been crazy and very tough, you know.
All your team, right? You have a big team working with you, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's one thing to sulk and say, oh, COVID has hit the world, or it's very tough, or, you know, and just sleep and get depressed and get confused. It's one thing I can do that, but it's another one to motivate myself and say, you know what, COVID has hit the world today, but it's not going to be here forever. We're going to overcome the challenge. We will overcome. So I think for me is, taking up challenges and also making use of opportunities as they present themselves. Let me give you an example, like the opportunity that came for the US in 2018. I met a guy in 2009 while I was a student. Yeah. So while I was doing all this media stuff, there's an organization said, hey, we're looking for a student who can work with an American to go around the country to shoot a documentary for this Kenya global project. Say, hey, we're not a student in Maseno University who does media stuff. One of the guys said that. So I was called in that program. And I was working with about 42, I think, American students. And we were just 5 Kenyan students. 2009, I was still a student. And this guy I was working with to film, we kind of, you know, connected. He's called Daniel Burasa. He's based in Missoula, Montana. And we connected. He said, hey, Jacktone, man, we love you. In fact, if we give birth to, if our firstborn, that time the wife was pregnant, if my wife gives birth to a baby boy, we're going to name him after you. And guess what happened?
There's something about Daniels, right?
Yeah. Something good. That's right.
Yes. Beautiful.
I love it. And guess what? Daniels, they now have 5 kids. 5, yeah. Their firstborn was actually a boy, and he was named after me.
Nice.
Yeah? And so 2016, I went to visit them. And while I visited them, I told, hey, Daniel, you know what? I'm visiting you guys, but I am passionate about media and event stuff. That's what I do. Is there any production and events company here that I can visit? He said, oh, I don't know, but there's a guy who volunteers to do work at my church who I think has a media production company. And his name is called, he's Bridger. So we went and saw Bridger. And I was so amazed. We were upstairs and I was seeing all the computers and the media stuff. I was like, man, one day I must train and work with these guys. Just in my head, say, one day I must do something with these guys. And so we exchanged contacts, we exchanged cards. And, when I was back in Kenya, we started emailing and talking, blah, 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 blah. And that's how the 2018 opportunity came. So you can imagine all these links. Like even right now, we just met with you a couple of months ago. I don't know what our link, right now we're doing a show here together. I don't know what we're going to do 3 years from now, but I know we're going to do something.
Depends on, I'm totally with you in exactly that flow. You never know.
That's right. That's it. So for me it's just taking up opportunities as they come. And, your network is your net worth. Not materially, not financially speaking, but, the person could be just, could unlock, could just be holding the key that could unlock a very special door for you. So making use of those opportunities, making use of the networks and relationships that you have, for me is a driving force in terms of, pursuing my dreams.
Good friend of mine has an initiative called YouGain. And the motto behind is everybody has the potential to help somebody else. And if I frame it a little bit further, everybody has a potential to inspire others, to motivate others, to make the difference in other people's life. Everybody of us human beings, everybody can be a change maker. Everybody is important.
I agree with you, Daniel, 100% with you on that. I have a show called Talk with J.O. And you know what the slogan for the show is? Everyone is important. Everyone has a story to tell, and everyone's story is important. So I agree with you. Everyone is important, and everyone can have impact on anyone's life. So absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
We need to let the secret out. So I have the pleasure to be guest in your show. So guys out there, if you want to know, and you're listening English because the interview will be in English, if you want to know something about me, you better watch the other video. When everything is public, I will put it down here. So you want to see the other side, have a look at it.
That's right.
Beautiful. And you mentioned as well that you have some social initiatives which you are supporting, or let's say running with Lois events, with Bamba Studios. What is it? Because I was quite impressed by your closeness to all the SDG of the UN, but also to the social activities you have in mind. What do you want to do, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I would say, it's important to, not just live life, make money, drive a nice car, live, all those, it's okay. It's fine to do all those things. But I think what will it, because at some point, one day we will all not be here, we will, if I died today, what would Daniel say about me? How will I be remembered? And the lives that we touched, is more important. That's how we're going to be remembered. I touched a life. So what we've done is there's an organization called Sauti One Inc. Sauti One is a nonprofit that seeks to eradicate poverty through mentorship, And so what it does is link up kids in the slums and the less privileged areas in Kenya with people with Africans. Actually, it's not just Kenya. The pilot, started in Kenya, but the goal is to make it all of Africa, So link up kids in Africa who have needs with mentors who are Africans living in the diaspora. Yeah. So link them up to be able to get support and be able to get mentorship right here in Kenya.
What kind of mentorship? Which direction?
So there are a couple of levels. So you can pay school fees for, let's say you can pick a kid in Africa and pay school fees for them, or support them. Let's say they don't have food or shelter, and support them that way. But the kids need more than that. They just don't need good clothing, they just don't need shelter. They need all those things, but they need mentorship to be able to grow, and for their personal development, let's put it that way. So we're providing a platform, for people not just to support these kids financially, but we are supporting them with their personal development growth. Because for instance, there could be kids, who want to be media professionals like me, or who want to be musicians, who want to be footballers, who want to be poets or in the art, want to be a scientist. So apart from just feeding them and supporting them, meeting their basic needs, work with them in these skills and these desires and passions and dreams that they have, so that we just, work with them and help them to achieve those dreams.
You are doing pure dream development. You are doing pure dream development with these people.
That's it. That's it.
I love it. That's the spirit we need on this planet. That's my opinion. This is what Dream and Do stands for. Träumen und Machen. This is what it is about. I have always this dream and do together, right? It's people themselves have to dream. They need to get into doing, but they need others. And that's the key. Others means helpers, and somebody needs to be open and ask for help and let be helped, right? So
that's right.
Wonderful.
And I must at this point, I must commend you, Daniel, for what you're doing with the Dream and Do. It's amazing. I know you are. I know you won't blow your own trumpet. I know you are an incredible perspective and mentorship coach. And I know you're very busy, committing your time, resources to be able to, coach and mentor businesses all over, not just in Europe, but in Africa and, different parts of the world. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing,
You're welcome.
helping individuals and businesses to dream and do. So keep it going.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. My own trumpet, that's very funny. Yeah, I like this. Thank you very much. So, but spotlight back on you. If people are inspired, if people want to shoot movies, need radios, if there's any football club in Kenya who wants an own radio channel and doesn't know how to do it, if you want a documentary in Kenya, outside Kenya, around Kenya, if you just want to chat with Jacktone, how should people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we're everywhere, man. We can't be in the media and not be everywhere. So find us on the website, www.loisevents.com.
Loisevents.com.
Yeah, loisevents.com. Yes, you go there, you will check out all the stuff that we do. If you want to see the Bamba Studios production company, you'll find it there on the same URL. And then you can find us on Facebook at Lois Events, at Bamba Studios, Instagram, Twitter.
You're on LinkedIn.
And on LinkedIn as well.
Now, I put LinkedIn down there as well, right? I put your YouTube channel in, so just that we have some links inside. And because it's also a podcast, people will find it. Mm-hmm.
That's it. So yeah, Daniel will share the link there. You'll find us everywhere on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms. And you can get connected with us and just see how we can add value to one another.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot. Very, very inspiring. You are so positive, and the voice thingy is totally true, right? It's just, you have a deep voice. It's so calm. It's so warm. It's like cuddling, right? It's like daddy talking to the little kid. It's really, and you recognized your talent and you make use of it. That's beautiful. And you love what you're doing. Unbelievable. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you.
Yes. Friends and dreamers out there, if you enjoyed it. So thumbs up, of course, share it, put your love into your network. And if you want to know more about Dream and Do, Träumen and Machen, you can find all information, events, offline, online, the podcast. We find it also via social media. Or if you want to support financially Träumen and Machen and what I'm doing with the initiative, you just go to träumenenmachen.org. and you find your ways, your channels, contact information. And weekly I'm online with a get-together, which is right now in German. If community grows in English, I would offer an English version as well. You find your way. And you, Jacktone, thanks a lot. I know we have agreed already our next meeting. I'm very excited how to continue with you beyond the mentoring program, because I can feel a deep connection, and I can feel a friendship growing. I have already, with my wife Carmen, I've already these ideas coming to Kenya, doing something together, maybe with music, maybe with having a spotlight to your mentoring program. I don't know now, right? It's just, let's go step by step with the flow and enjoy that we are able to do this, right?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you so much for having me. Please pass my regards to your wife, Carmen, and your son, Arnold. Say a big hello to them. And yeah, I mean, we keep this going beyond the coaching. You know, I am, glad I have a new friend. And yes, I look forward to having you guys come visit our beautiful country here in Kenya. We will. And hopefully when I visit Germany again, I should be able to link up with you guys. So I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me on the show, man. Yeah.
Friends and dreamers out there, keep dreaming and doing. Happy and healthy. Bye-bye.
That's right, man. Cheers.